So this past week was second to last week of school, so there's all that going on. And then on top of it, I had my anniversary, which meant it took me a bit to get all my polls, but here I am Saturday, and I want to share what I got. Hi, this is James for Read More Comics. Please do like, share, subscribe. If you enjoy listening to me ramble on about comic books, as I shared in the intro, it was a busy week with school, and then my wife and I had our anniversary. And so while I did make it to my LCS, and I always try to clean out my poll box every week. Let me rephrase that. I always do, because that's a part of the social contract between a collector and reader and a local comic book store. I haven't had a chance to make any content, so I do want to share what I have. This is a bigger week, and I noticed I use the League of Comic Geeks app to kind of track week to week. Even though my LCS sends out an email saying, hey, this is what you got, I like kind of projecting, hey, where am I going to be at? Because I do try to budget, but lately, because I've realized I'm a stress purchaser. I'll talk about that in another video. I like to stay within my budget and know, like, well, how much money do I have for hunting for comic books? Like, the next couple weeks are going to be pretty light, so I'm going to go hunt for some books. This week was a bigger week, though. I did. Let me over here. I did need to get some supplies, and they had this cool Alex Ross. This is the new Doomquest mini by Ryan North. So they had an Alex Ross short box, and I went, hey, that's pretty sweet. I'm going to pick up one of those. That's a great way to showcase Fantastic Four comic books. And then I needed some boards. So that was a little pricey. The boards in itself, and yeah, the short box was something I didn't need. So this was a bigger week for me. And looking at this year, this might have been the biggest week I've had in normal pickups. It cost me like $80 altogether. Granted, again, short box and the boards, that was about a third of it. Anyway, let's dive in. So first up, let me look, see who did this. Carl Kerschel. So first up, we have Absolute Wonder Woman, issue number 20. Check that out. And I was trying to pronounce the name. The artist's name is Carl Kerschel. I have not seen this person's work before. This is the book I pre-ordered, though, and I think this week they had a Dotson cover. Or was that last issue? I think it was this one. And I didn't feel it captured the emotion, the energy kind of Absolute Wonder Woman like this one does. There's just a determination here, even though Wonder Woman looks absolutely exhausted, which I can connect with. I also think this is the last issue in the Season of the Witch miniseries with Zatanna, which has been pretty good. Absolute Zatanna is an interesting character, so looking forward to this. This has been a comic book that's a long time coming, like it should have come out last year, I think. So we got Batman 163. Check that out. I have not read any of Hush 2. I've heard the art is phenomenal, which is awesome that Jim Lee still has his chops. But on the other side of it, that the story's kind of all over the place. I'll be honest, I'm getting this for two reasons. One, it's finishing out Volume 2. Volume 3. So it's finishing that out. And so I needed it, right? Because Batman is one of the books I collect. Second one is this phenomenal Gabriel Del Otto connecting cover over the entire Hush 2 covers. And this one, we got Joker and Harley Quinn on it. Harley Quinn. There we go. So I'll have to dig those out, see if I can get them lined up to show them off. This is another one that has been really, really good so far. This is by Boom Studios. We have BRZRKR. And after the original series, they've been doing just kind of little, like, one-shot stories, which is cool. It's like a short story. I love that Keanu Reeves' name's connected to it. I love the history that they've been pulling into it. This is BRZRKR Light draws breath. This has a different creative team. I went with this. Now, it's interesting. Like all the other ones, I always get the foily covers. This was a $9 book. I'm not sure how many pages it is. I'll put it right down here. The foil was $11.99, and I'm going like, that's a lot of money for a single issue. And it doesn't seem like it's much more. Let's take a look real quick. Okay, maybe it's twice the length. Okay, but the new Rosenberg book just came out, and that was like double sized for $4.99. So anyway, the art's different than what we've seen before in Berserker. There's still some blood and guts. I tried to skip over that. And usually Boom has, yeah, they have like all the variant covers on the back. No, that wasn't, those aren't the variant covers. Those are like a bunch of different Boom products. I like that Boom puts all the ads in the back so it doesn't break up the story. I'm not finding it. Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking Dynamite. Dynamite does that. Boom doesn't do that. That would have been nice though, right? So, there it is. I just thought the idea of B riding a cat in the battle was kind of cool, so I got it. It's always, since the initial mini, I've been a fan of Berserker. I think it's an awesome story. It's an awesome concept. It's not necessarily original because Vandal Savage is basically B, you know, except Vandal Savage is a bad guy. Kinda, I guess. I don't know. Then we have Conan the Barbarian. This is issue number 31. This is the Mahmoud Asra cover. There you go. That's pretty sweet. Titan's been swinging for the fences on Conan, and I'll be honest, it's been worth it. They have been doing justice to Conan in a way that I don't think even original Marvel did. I wasn't a big fan of Dark Horse Conan because it wasn't approachable for me as a reader, where this one I think is. Issue number 2 of Corpse Knight. This is another Image book. This has been a good read. Issue number 1 kind of set the stage for the different characters, for the Corpse Knight himself, who's a Revenant, and his daughter. And they're going to go look for Joan of Arc. That's kind of the quest. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Definitely has a horror vibe to it. I'm realizing I don't know a lot about horror comic books, and so I can't tell you if like, oh, this is really good, this is, you know, intense, or to me it's just a violent comic book with an undead. I don't know. Maybe that's what horror comic books is, and I don't understand horror in comic books. Leave a comment. Tell me if I'm right, if I don't get it. And then we saw the short box. Here we have Doomquest. I went with issue number 1. I'm going to be honest, though. I'm sorry. This is the A cover. It wasn't the best cover, but this is Alex Ross. And I really like Alex Ross. There was one of the variant covers that I thought was actually better. So check that out. I've realized that Ryan North is one of the few writers over in Marvel and kind of anywhere else that if he's writing a book, I'm probably going to pick it up. Love his Fantastic Four. The other Doom related stuff he's written, like One World Under Doom, loved the event. I think it dragged on a little long, but I don't know if that's like Ryan North's issue. Or more of a Marvel issue. So I'm looking forward to this to kind of see where it goes. So anyway, if you haven't read any Ryan North Fantastic Four, definitely recommend it. Then we have Feral. This is Feral issue number 23. I always pull the Trish Forstner variant horror comic covers. I have no idea what this is homaging, but I just think it's sick, you know, what she's able to do. I just got caught up reading this a couple weeks back, and it's still holding its own. They're doing a crossover with the characters from Stray Dogs. And I think last issue was a flip book issue where you kind of flip it over and then you read the Stray Dogs and you flip it over and you read in Feral, which was a really creative idea. I think there's a plot hole in it, but I'm not sure if I'm missing it. It's been a while since I read Stray Dogs, so I might have to go back. But in the Stray Dogs mini, what I remember is the antagonist at the end, I think he was arrested. That's what I remember, because he was a serial killer. And in the crossover, he's there, so I'm not sure. Oh, spoiler. Spoiler, not spoiler, because Stray Dogs came out like 6 years ago. So he's in this, but I'm not sure how he fits. Like, what does that mean about when Feral's taking place compared to Stray Dogs? I don't know. So I'm trusting Tony Fleece and Trish Forstner to work it out. It's been a really good run so far. So then, and this was a surprise because I feel they only had an issue a couple weeks ago. So this is Ghost Machine, Hyde Street, issue number 12. This is the second part of The Butcher of Hyde Street. And I feel like I really enjoy the Ghost Machine titles, but the production schedule, the release schedule has been a little off. Like, wasn't there supposed to be last fall there's supposed to be the White Ghost in the White House or something like that? What happened to that? So anyway, Hyde Street is a really good read, and it's surprised me. Out of the Ghost Machine titles, it's the one that I'm enjoying the most. I think I enjoy the characters. There's a redemption story going on, even though they're all broken in really bad ways. So, first DC book in the stack. Wow, we have a lot of indie books this week. So we have Justice League Unlimited. No, this is second DC book. I'm not counting. Justice League Unlimited, issue number 19. Revenge of the Brainiac Queen. That's cool. So this is taking place post DCKO. The bad guys are redeemed and they want to help the world because they saw everything almost went sideways. But we know that's not going to work out, right? Anyway, it's never worked out any other time the bad guys become good guys, right? But this is still a really fun read, still strong, kind of homaging's not the right word. It makes me nostalgic for Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, the animated series. It's a phenomenal story. It's a lot of fun, so highly recommend that. Another Image book, we have Monster issue number 62. This is crazy. So this is Marjorie Liu, Sana Takeda. Cover's really cute. Let's show you that. So I've been trying to wrap my head around how to make a content video about kind of a clinic's the wrong word. How to make Monstress accessible without reading 62 issues of the book. And I don't know how yet. I'm still working on that. A primer, that's the word I was looking for. It's a phenomenal story. It's kind of steampunk and Cthulhu-esque and fantasy and all sorts of things. It's a lot of fun, and the art's phenomenal. What you see on the cover right here, this is the interiors, which you don't always get. And then we have a Black Label book. This is Swamp Thing 1989, issue 2. I'm getting the foily covers for this because it's only $1 more. Didn't read the first one yet. It's in my box in my read pile. Just hasn't made it out of the queue yet into the top of the pile books. If you haven't seen my video about how I'm organizing my read pile, I'll try to link it here, but that's a whole new YouTube thing that I haven't done yet. So I read a review on this though, and it said it is holding its own, which I've always wanted to get more into Swamp Thing, and this is one of the ways DC is making it approachable for me without going and getting expensive trades or going on a mission and getting floppies, trying to get the early Swamp Thing books, which are kind of salty, in price. So anyway, those are my polls for the week. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. If there's anything that struck your fancy, let me know. Have you read Hush 2? You can't spoil it for me. I know someone dies because I read a spoiler and didn't realize it was. Oops, spoiler, someone dies. Gasp. But it's a comic book, so do they really die? Have you been reading Berserker? Highly recommend it. It's really just Keanu Reeves, except he's an immortal barbarian. Highly recommend Conan. This is phenomenal, and we're 31 issues in, but there's on-ramps every couple issues. Corpse Knights, good read. Let me know what you think about any of these books. Thanks again. I hope you have a beautiful day. Don't forget, though, life is so much better when you read more comics.